Today, I'm going to discuss 5 indicators that a lady loves you even if she's trying not to show it. First of all, scheduling a date is simple. How often do you guys find yourselves in a position where you're flirting and messaging a female and everything looks fine? But when you go for the hangout, everything feels so complicated. She has a fickle schedule and is always occupied. She's telling you she wants to get to know you better on this site, yet she's ghosting you. For a female who likes you, arranging up a date is not as difficult as pulling teeth. A female who is attracted to you will make things very simple. Without really asking to hang out, she will make you know that she wants to. It is certainly your responsibility as a guy to arrange the first date, the second date, and other arrangements of that kind. It's going to be simple with her. For instance, hey, does Tuesday or Thursday work? Might be an example to use. She then says, hey, Tuesday's not working for me, but Thursday is. What time is most effective? She's excited to go on a date with you, almost. Additionally, she is really simple to get in touch with during this process. You're not stressing about whether or not this lady will really show up for the date. For example, she is eager to go on the date and responds to you promptly. Now, if the situation is the contrary, it's most likely the result of the girl's lack of interest in you. Setting up the date appears to be much more difficult since she constantly canceling. The most important thing to do in this situation is to try again if you arrange a date with a lady and she cancels. Like in sports, I like to call it the Hail Mary. Maybe she will catch the Hail Mary that you are tossing. Even though there is extremely little chance of it occurring, you will still give it a go. It's over now if she cancels or flakes twice. You must go on. The same holds true for the other instances I provided. You may respond with something like, "That's what the date's for, silly." If she replies anything along the lines of, "Hey, I want to get to know you better on here first." That being said, you should move on if she continues to act strangely while scheduling the date. It's a numbers game dating. What are you doing wasting all of your time and energy on females who don't want to spend out with you? It seems like all you're doing is looking for approval. Second, let's imagine that after a few dates, a female begins to ask you more intimate questions. I am not referring to inquiries such as, "What is your occupation?" or "Have you ever been in a violent relationship?" That is not the kind of thing I am discussing. I refer to the moment when she asks, "Hey, are you seeing other people?" or something like, "I'm having a great time hanging out with you. I removed the dating apps." She's kind of hinting at her feelings for you without really saying, "Hey, I like you." And once again, this is how females defend themselves. They're afraid you may not feel the same way, so they try not to come off as very direct or desperate. She is attempting to gauge your feelings and position by asking questions. At this point, it's critical for you to choose whether or not you like her back, and if you want to pursue this more seriously. Because even if you're having fun spending time with her, you still want to keep things light. Furthermore, it's not a good indication that a lady likes you if you're hanging out with her and you never receive any of these signals. It's also possible that she just loves spending time with you and doesn't see it as a long-term or serious relationship. Again, there's nothing wrong with it, but knowing these things is still a good idea. Thirdly, she is really involved in her texting. Perhaps she is reaching out to check on you by SMS, or perhaps she is responding to your questions with more than just a single word, or she responds after a protracted period of time. Her response is intelligent and well considered. However, females who like you but aren't ready to confess to you may seem a little needy or come off as particular by texting you longer and waiting longer to respond. Therefore, bear it in mind. In the end, however, she looks very interested in your inquiries. She smiles back, and you never get the feeling that, "Oh, I'm not sure if she likes me or not." She's not actually replying to my texts, or she's giving you reasons why she can't be reached. Here's a crucial point to remember. If you see a lady is extremely into texting and constantly replying, but after a few weeks things start to change, you should be aware of this and ask yourself, okay, is she pulling back? And if you sense that she's becoming less attentive in her texts, that her whole texting style has changed, or that she's responding to you later, it's likely a sign that you're being too clingy and you should distance yourself. You have to act just like her. This is really crucial since many men fell for that ruse. She's been contacting me often, so I guess she likes me. Subsequently, they continue to send more texts, and the girl's text behavior radically changes. You don't notice this, so you continue sending those texts. She is likely going to just stop being interested in you and stop communicating with you. You should thus draw back until she re-engages if you see this occurring. I know you want to text her and I know you like her. And sometimes, females want that room to consider whether or not they like this person. Do I not? Furthermore, persistently bothering her by SMS would drive her crazy and make her uninterested. Fourth, should you find yourself hanging out with a girl and you notice that she's making an extra effort, say when she goes to the grocery store and buys you something, or when she starts tidying your place, or when she starts to do small, considerate gestures, such as maybe notifying you in advance that you have a big test or important meeting at work and sending you a "hey, good luck with that meeting," or something similar. She is showing concern for you, and a girl's concern for you indicates her fondness for you. Once again, however, she's not saying, "I like you." She's merely trying to express her concern for you. Furthermore, the fact that she is a female offering to help without being asked to or having any connections is a huge plus. She's just beginning to play that part and express her feminine energy, and I think it's very nice to see girls do that because it makes them look so lovely. Now, these are warning signs if a female you're hanging out with never demonstrates any of these behaviors. She never seems to be thinking things through. She never cleans up after herself, and she's a little sloppy. She's not really involved in this hanging out, so you have to determine whether this is just going to be a hookup or if this is someone you want to spend a long time with. In my opinion, she's lacking that feminine spark. Fifth, she'd want you to get to know her pals. This is important since it indicates that you checked every box in the world of girls, right? You really did tick every box she had. It's crucial that her friends meet you, one of the last boxes, since she loves them, and she wants to brag about you to them. It's sort of a huge thing, however, since she also wants their take on you. She is expressing, "All right, I'm prepared to go on with this man, but first my friends have to meet him." As an aside, it's a bit of a red signal if she's attempting to introduce you to her friends after you two have only really gone out once. You hardly know each other at all. Once the fourth or fifth date goes well, it's best to wait, at which point she says, "Hey, my friend's having a party. Would you want to come by?" That's quite encouraging. I understand that many of you are wondering, why can't girls just come out and be like, "Hey, I like you," and that's it? Girls are so confusing, since it isn't how dating works or how it functions in general. Girls are concerned that you won't like them back and that they will be wounded emotionally. Instead, they act in this way to convey to you their feelings for you without explicitly saying so.